Welcome to our Introduction to Trike Assembly and Frame Preparation video. If you decide to put your trike together yourself, you can simply pick up your owner's manual and start to assemble the trike. However, what we're about to go through in this preparation portion of this video is the things that we did to enhance the beauty of our Catrike as well as its longevity. If you haven't already gone online and downloaded the manuals for all the components on your trike, do so. It, along with these videos, will allow you to do the best job you can putting the trike together. The Catrike owner's manual that came with it only has one torque spec in the entire manual. I was very disappointed. It's also very tiny print. What we did was we went online, downloaded the manual, and printed it in large. So the stuff that we did need, it's there. If you don't already own the Park Tools Big Blue Book of Bicycle Repairs, I highly recommend buying one. There's all kinds of great information about all the components that are on the trike and how to put them on and service them. Also, in the back of the book is a great section on torque specs and is worth the price of the book. We first started the preparation portion of our trike by adding frame protectors. This is a Velo Stay Top chainstay protector. It's the one we put on my wife's and it works great. Also, we picked up a Velo chainstay protector and frame saver kit, and we're going to put those on as well. Before applying any sticker onto your Catrike, it's best to wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol. Now we used 99%. 99% has absolutely no oil in it whatsoever. Also make sure your hands are clean so you don't leave dirty fingerprints on the back of the stickers. To put on the stickers is actually very simple. In this particular case, we're putting the chainstay one on first. Line it up and then slowly push down one edge of it. After one edge gets put down, roll your thumb over the sticker, and this will limit or eliminate the possibility of little air bubbles under the sticker itself. So it's very important. Just kind of roll it under. I know this may be very basic for a lot of people, but we wanted to point that out. The interesting thing, once I put this Velo Stay Top chainstay protector on, it started to ripple up. It was almost as if it made this crackling sound and the sticker just started to bubble up. So I peeled it off. I was very disappointed. This was not the same quality as my wife's. Once again, I cleaned the area before applying a different chainstay protector. And now this is the Velo chainstay protector that came in the kit with a whole bunch of little dots to also protect the frame. Now I just simply, once again, I just run my finger along the edge. And if I don't like where I put it, because it's been wiped down with isopropyl alcohol 99%, I can peel it back again, which doesn't rip off any of the adhesive on the back of the sticker and allows me to reapply it to where exactly I want it. Once again, I roll the sticker over with my thumb to make sure that I don't get any air bubbles underneath. I just continue the whole process until the sticker is completely on. Now this compound curve right here, what's interesting is these rubber stickers actually have no problem conforming to the shape of the frame, and it works great. Now let me just go through all the different places we added the protectors. We added one extra dot just in front of the chainstay protector because the chainstay protector was a little short. We also added a long strip right beside the frame where the chain comes over and nails it. Also one above that where the cable kind of has a tendency of rubbing against the frame. We also applied frame protectors right at the hinge. The chain comes over and schmucks it pretty regularly, and this is a divided sticker that we cut up from one of the chainstay protectors in the kit. We also should have placed a sticker underneath the seat. The cables seem to rub and scratch the frame there. Also, we placed them on the cross member on the bottom and the top, so that as the tubes that hold the chain move side to side and up and down, they don't damage the finish. We also placed them underneath the front derailleur, where the front derailleur comes over and schmucks against the tube that it attaches to. We also place little dots just behind the frame clamp levers, one on the front and one on the back. This is the way we actually keep our frame clamps. They seem to work better that way and get better torque. Also, we put them underneath the cable for the front derailleur itself, right beside the bottle cage. We should have had them a little bit longer than this. Quite a bit of scratching goes on there. There's also another frame protector that is factory mounted at Catrike, and in this case it's for the clip that comes around and connects onto the frame right there just to hold the trike in the folded position. It starts in the back and runs around to the top. This piece actually should have been a piece of stainless steel 3M tape or something, because it's already starting to fall apart. So the second portion to our frame preparation has to do with filling holes. There are holes in the frame like this one right here. Now, why are there holes in the frame? In this tube, as the joint there is welded, the gases expand, and if you didn't have a place for them to escape this little hole, what would actually happen is they would blow a hole through the weld as it's being done, and you'd actually never be able to close up the weld. Now, there are a lot of these little holes all over the trike. They're in the machine dropouts on the back of the trike. There's one for the fender, if you're not using a fender. There are also 2 holes above the seat angle adjustment brackets. There's also the one in the center, which we already spoke of. Also look up underneath the seat back. There's a hole up underneath there as well. There's also a large section underneath the trike itself that I'll show you in a minute that we also filled. Also the headset here, the headset tube, there's a hole in it that leads into the large cross member, but you don't need to fill that since the headset covers up the area for that hole. So to do this, you're going to need to have some shop rags, you're going to need some Q-tips. Both of these are used to clean the area where you're going to apply the silicone. I use isopropyl alcohol, once again 99%. Anything like the 65 or the 75% has oil in it. It's designed to make it more comfortable on your skin. 99% is the way to go. We're also using GE Kitchen and Bath Silicone Sealant. It's white in this particular case. You're also going to need some gloves to keep your hands clean, and a garbage bag always comes in handy. We're going to start off by thoroughly cleaning the area where we're going to put the silicone in with isopropyl alcohol. Get a Q-tip in there. If you can't get a Q-tip in there, use a little rag like this with some isopropyl alcohol on it to clean up the area really nicely. To fill the hole, you simply squeeze out a little bit of silicone, push it up against the hole itself, and squeeze in a bunch more silicone. What you're actually doing is kind of creating a ball behind it. Once you've actually got the silicone on, wipe it off with your finger to clean up the mess, and finally you can just wipe off the residue, the last little bit of residue with the rag, and that'll make everything perfectly level with the frame. We also filled gaps underneath the trike in the frame area. Now the bosses here that are used to actually provide extra support to the hinge assembly have a huge gap in them, and a lot of dirt and debris can easily get up into that area. So we filled up that area very well as on the back. There's also another spot where it was completely open, and we filled that up. We also put more silicone in the speedo transducer tube to limit dirt and garbage from getting up in there. After the silicone is dry, it's time to wax our frame. If you decide to wax your frame, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a spritzer bottle with some cleaner to clean your frame. You're going to need a high quality wax. In our case, we're using a wax made by Crown Rust Proofing in Canada called their Premium Polish. It's great stuff. We've used it on boats before and other bikes. It provides great UV protection and makes it a lot easier to clean off dirt and bug splatter off of anything. You're also going to need some masking tape. Now what we've done is we put masking tape on the inside of the frame tube to stop any wax from getting in there. We don't want the plastic sleeve or the boom slipping around inside there. You're going to need some gloves, unless of course you like to have wax all over your hands. As well, you're going to need some shop rags. Some cotton shop rags work great for both cleaning the trike as well as putting the wax on. And a little garbage bag always comes in handy. Now, if you're using a very slippery wax, you may choose not to wax underneath the clamp. However, in our case, we wanted to wax underneath the clamp. To remove the clamp is simple. Make sure the skewers are nice and loose and simply slide the clamp right out of the main tube of the trike. It's very simple to come out. Next, we just went through the process of putting tape on the inside of the main tube where the boom slides in. It was very, very simple to actually put the tape in. We just put in multiple little pieces and it filled it up really quickly and easily. Next, we cleaned the frame. Now we cleaned the frame with 1/3 vinegar, 2/3 water, and it was a matter of putting a little bit of vinegar on the cloth and wiping the frame clean. It was actually quite interesting how much dirt we actually had in our cloth when we took a look at it. Also, we unclipped the frame from our stand, and very carefully, without dropping the frame off the stand, we also made sure we washed underneath wherever the stand made contact. But we cleaned the entire frame before we waxed it. After the frame was dry, we applied the wax. Now, The premium polish is the consistency of ketchup, and you simply wipe it on. You can use a slightly dampened rag, or you can just use a dry one like we're using here. As you can see, there was a little bit of a drool, but this stuff isn't like a thick turtle wax. It's literally like ketchup, and you just wipe it all over the frame. We put a fairly thin coating over the entire frame, and then we let it dry completely. Once the frame was dry, it was really a completely different frame. The frame hazed up and became a real flat color. Any of the components that we managed to get a little bit of the wax on, the wax just wiped right off of it. To actually make this stuff shiny, or to finish the process, you simply take your little rag. I could have used a bigger one in this particular case, and just give it a good wipe. Some of the residue is going to end up on your rag. If for some reason the rag doesn't slide well, it's probably because the wax is still wet. What you should do is let the frame completely dry and then go back to wiping it off. The wiping off process goes very quickly, but look at the difference in shine from this side versus the other side that I haven't wiped yet. It's really incredible how shiny this stuff becomes. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned is there's absolutely no grit to this wax at all. It's strictly wax, and look at the shine it creates on the trike. It's just absolutely beautiful. And the benefits to the trike are not only appearance-wise, but will allow the trike to shed water better, as well as be more UV resistant and make it a lot easier to clean garbage or bugs and dirt off your trike. I hope this has all made sense. I know it's all little esoteric things that we're talking about here, and no dealer in their right mind would spend the time to do all this work. But we felt that we wanted to do as much as we could to show you all the possibilities that there are with both not only getting your trike ready, but also putting it together. I hope you enjoyed the video.